What's up, YouTube? This is the Brooklyn Bounce channel. I'm here today with Chapter 16 of Anthony's Boy, The Prince of Bath Avenue. The true story of former Bonanno family hitman Joey Calco. Chapter 16, A Warrant for My Arrest. In 1995, the New York City Police Department had a warrant for my arrest for murder. This would be my downfall and the end of my days as the boss of the Bath Avenue crew of the Bonanno family. I will no longer be in the neighborhood as a good fellow. I will be forgotten, gone for good. The police are looking for me all over the city. They want to put me away forever, but not so fast. I am not that easily found. The police contact America's Most Wanted to locate me. On March 21st, 1995, I am on America's Most Wanted nationwide. I'm down in Florida hiding at the beach. I'm hanging with Chris Paciello and enjoying some of the celebrity nightlife. And I get to help Chris out a little bit with some wise guys from Central and South America who needed to go to school and embrace their education about how things are done in La Costa Nostra in New York and USA. That will take another book for me to tell you how that all worked out. I had a good time and did some good work for the families who had investments in South Florida. I decided to go to Sicily again to get away from the heat. It's getting too hot for me in New York City. My face is all over the television and my face is all over the television and neighborhoods on posters. And the neighborhoods on posters. So I go to Canada to catch a plane for Sicily. I hope that my past does not follow me across the sea. I get to Sicily and my wife and kids arrive shortly thereafter. And that's that. Everything I worked for so hard to build up as my treasure is gone. My business, my reputation, my friends, my money, the high life. There's only one thing I have left, and that is my personal family, and not the family of La Cosa Nostra. My wife sells all of our belongings, packs up the kids, and joins me. Why do I keep doing all these bad things to this beautiful lady and my whole family? I guess I'll never know until I get to heaven, so that I can talk again with my wise grandpa, Joey Calco, from San Salvador, the province of Messina, Sicily. But I keep doing all these stupid bad things, but if I keep doing all these stupid bad things, I'll never get to heaven, and I'll never know what makes me tick. Tick like a time bomb, and explode sometimes. And it's usually at the wrongest and worst times of my life that I can explode and blow myself up into dust. My so-called friends would take everything that I built. My so-called friends would take away everything that I built up. They would keep for themselves. I received some money from Brooklyn and South Florida, but I know it will not last long. Money can change people and destroy them like it did to the Bath Avenue boys and the mafia. I was there. I know it's true because I saw it happen firsthand. I learned one thing in life, one thing in living the life. In crime, and that's that you have no real friends. There is no loyalty. My best friend would stab me in the back in a minute. I stepped off the plane in Sicily. These bastards took everything I made and kept it for themselves. But like I said in the beginning, nothing lasts forever and all good things will come to an end. I stay in Sicily for 3 years and I do some work with the Sicilian mafia about which I cannot tell you now because of the statute of limitations and the fact that Sicily has an extradition treaty with the United States. Maybe my next book, I'll let you know about my work in Sicily and South Florida escapades. I decided to come back to Brooklyn to get revenge because my so-called friend stole my business and my money from me. one friend named Dean owes me $25,000 and is the main reason why I am coming back to get it and all of it with interest. And I'll kill him if I have to, then sell his bones for the money. Whoops, there I go again. I remember what I said before. Revenge has to be served on a cold plate. Otherwise, you're going to burn yourself if you serve it on a hot plate. You serve it on a hot plate of burning vendetta. Dean says that Joe Bonanti says that he doesn't have to pay me anymore. Bonanti, the guy whose life I saved along with Anthony Sparrow when Paulie Galino was going to kill them. I gave Bonanti the heads up, and he gave me the contract to take out Paulie Galino, which I did like a loyal soldier. After all of the things I did for the family, now my so-called friends stop paying my salary. That's why I'm not coming back to. That's why I'm coming back to start a war with these guys and get my money back, even if I have to kill all of them to get it back because they stole it from me. I fly back to Canada from Sicily. I take a train to America and get arrested by the FBI at the United States-Canadian border. I have been set up by my good friend Dean, who figured that if he had me arrested, then he wouldn't have to pay me my money. Smart move by my buddy Dean. I couldn't have played it better myself. I'm busted, second-degree murder, and I'm locked up in the place I like best in the place I like best in the whole world. I'm locked up in the place I like best in the whole world for a white boy from a middle class neighborhood, Rikers Island. It's like a fucking jungle in here. The FBI and DIA come to see me and ask if I would like to cooperate with them. I refuse. I'm sitting in Rikers Island 2 years when one of the inmates gives me a newspaper and it tells me I'm in it. I read the newspaper and I see that the government has indicted me on a RICO organized crime for 5 murders. All of my friends are locked up in Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, which is federal jail. The poop hits the fan and now I'm covered with it. This is not a good place to be at this young age. I have many things to do with my life. I have a family to support, and these fools won't let me out to do what I have to do because I got rid of some dirty trash from the streets of Brooklyn. They should thank me for cleaning up their city instead of punishing me for taking out the trash like I did for years. And I don't even charge them 1 red cent for the cleaning service. That's the way I figure it. And to top it all off, all this time, Dean has been cooperating with the feds. They got Sparrow and Joe Bonanti, and the whole Bath Avenue crew is cooperating. Mikey DeRosa and Messy Marvin from the Lucchese family, Frankie Goya and Jimmy Calandra are also cooperating. It's all over now. The one-time notorious Bath Avenue boys are gone for good. The United States Marshal comes and gets me from Rikers Island and brings me to MDC Brooklyn. I see all of my so-called buddies. Everybody wants to be friends now that we are all locked up together facing life in prison. Okay, this next section is by a parole officer named Jake Weinhardt. It's a confidential interview with him. I get a lot of guys out on parole from Brooklyn MDC. I don't know what it is in there. There must be some kind of an epidemic or plague going on in Brooklyn, especially the Bensner section. It's getting worse. It's getting worse year after year, with more and more crimes and parolees who keep getting out, who keep going right back in after they get out. After I get them, in no time they violated their parole and heading right back into prison. I think they must like it there. 3 square meals a day, exercise, gym, cable television, and they even get to go to school to learn something so they can develop a skill and get a good job when they get out. Sometimes it works and they'll get a good job, but more often than not, they go right back in. I can understand that. I think he meant to say can't understand that, since I can understand that. They even get priests, reverends, rabbis, iams, and other religious people so that they can save their souls while they still have one. It's the same along with all of these cons. They wrap their arms around the Bible or the Talmud or the Koran or whatever. They hug and kiss it almost to death. Then they crawl inside it and cover themselves with the holy pages and hide to try and disappear inside the scripture so God can never find them to really punish them right for what they did when they were on the outside. That is until they get out and stir, and they get out of stir, and then they start all over again doing the same things and getting into the same trouble in the first place. The joint is the first place and the last place for most of them. They are lost causes, and their dice have been cast a long time ago when they were growing up, and they saw all the wise guys making the easy buck with a gun, knife, or just with bare hands, broken knuckles. And they thought that they could do the same thing and not get caught, but they did. They do both, the crime and the time, again and again and again. Don the crime and do the time. It's a revolving door, the revolving doors of justice. They're all sorry, they say, for what they did, but they're really sorry for getting caught with their hands in the cookie jar or wherever else they had their hands that they shouldn't have had them. When they're outside, they think that they're little gods running around doing whatever they want to do with impunity. But when they get caught, they realize but when they get caught that they only made But when they get caught, they realize that they're only made of clay like everybody else. Little gods can get grabbed too, and just as easy as anybody else, and get put away too. Sometimes for a lifetime, or even longer. The long walk to the prison morgue, one way or the other, either by the sentence of a judge or the verdict of their fellow inmates. They never learn. They keep coming back for more. Do you know what the recidivism rate for cons? Do you know what the recidivism rate is for cons? I don't know exactly because it keeps changing every day, but it's high, very high. Why? I can only guess. You tell me why. Maybe it's because when they get out, they got no way to make a living like the rest of us, poor slobs. So they take the easy, high and fast money road and drive themselves right back into the slammer like it was their destiny to spend their lives behind bars. Nobody wants to hire a con, and if they do, it's to be a dishwasher or some low-paying job where they can exploit them for cheap labor. It's only a matter of time before their past before that past catch up with them, and they start all over in the life of crime again. And the system gets them a one-way ticket. The system gets them a one-way ticket to free room and board, and the pen in the pen for a long vacation. Sorry about that. I see it happen all the time. There's no way to stop it. When they get released, they get back with their old friends, and then they're treated like they're some kind of heroes because they made their bones in jail and they pay their dues in the club. And they move up and get promoted in the mob, and then they start all over again until they get caught the next time. And then it starts all over again, like a rat on a treadmill who is trying to get away, running like hell, but can't get away with anything but a life sentence to the hell. With a life sentence to the hell they're running into. They're rats in a trap, and they can't get out no matter what they. They're rats in a trap, and they can't get out no matter how fast they run or how hard they try. They got the cheese, but what good? They got the cheese, but what good's it going to do them? They can't eat it because they've lost all hope and don't have an appetite for anything anymore except maybe God. Then they try their damnedest to sit beside him. They keep falling off the chair next to the throne and wind up right back in the fires of hell again, with the devil who's laughing all the way to the bank with their immortal souls to make a final deposit. And then they really got no chance in hell to ever escape the life. Then after all this is said and done, they send them to me to keep them straight, but that's impossible because the lure of easy money on the street and doing the only thing that they know how to do gets them nabbed again, and it goes on forever and ever, like an eternal dirge. D-I-R-G, I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry. Sometimes I don't know why I took this sorry job in the first place. It's almost like I'm here in this crappy office in prison myself, just doing my time, and for a life sentence or until I get my pension and kiss them all goodbye. For most often, the sooner they die, the better. The sooner they die, the better it is for themselves and for society. Hey, don't tell anybody I told you this stuff, okay? I don't want to lose my job and wind up on the streets and wind up doing what they do to make a fast buck and find myself locked away with them with no hope for the future. A fella could go crazy behind those bars with no place to go, even after he gets out. This stuff I told you is all off the record, right? Just like you said when we started this little talk of ours. I can trust you, can I? Not to mention my name, if you know what I mean. Anyway, under the circumstances, I do the best job I can I do the best job I can because I only know one way to do a job, and that's the right way. I always try to do the right thing for everybody, for them and for myself. I can't wait to get my pension and get the hell out of this hellhole and off this treadmill. That's the truth. It really is. I don't like to say it, but it really is. Wow, that was hard to read that. The interview with the parole officer. All right, that was chapter 16. I didn't think I was gonna do this one today. I thought I was gonna push it off till tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow with chapter 17. Getting screwed. Let me change this chapter 17. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with chapter 17. I'll get the whole thing done. Chapter 17. Yeah, chapter 17 and maybe a little bit of chapter 18. Alright. Please like, share, subscribe. Help me grow my channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.